Welcome back guys to Most Amazing Top 10. My name is Danny Burke and I do hope you're doing well. Now today's video is the top 10 highest paid athletes in the world. Now there are many things that contribute to an athlete's overall wealth. You gotta take into account their salary, their winnings, any sponsorship deals, all of that stuff. It can be a tricky business to work it all out. But the wonderful Forbes magazine, the business magazine right here, made the definitive list of what the highest paid athletes earned last year. All credit goes to them for the information, for digging up all the stats, and now it's my job to give you guys a bit of context to these numbers. So let's jump right into our number 10 with basketball legend Kobe Bryant, who earned $49.5 million. Kobe Bryant retired in 2016, but his last full year was still a very profitable one. Kobe spent his entire 18-year professional career in basketball with the LA Lakers, his favorite childhood team. Not only was he the highest paid player in the NBA during the 2015/2016 season, he was the highest paid for the previous 6 seasons before that. Once you take into account the reported 13 companies that have endorsed him over the years, including Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Nintendo, and even Call of Duty Black Ops, you can kind of see why he's made this much money. Not sure about the link between him and Call of Duty Black Ops, but I guess every dollar helps. Coming in at number 9 now, we've got professional golfer Tiger Woods, who raked in a cool $50.6 million last year. Now before Tiger Woods came along, many people wondered if you could actually become this rich from just playing golf. The answer is yes, if you're as good as Tiger Woods. To date, he has won 79 PGA Tour events, the second highest amount of all time. In 2009, Forbes magazine confirmed that he was the world's first athlete to earn over $1 billion in his career. Only 10% of his total prize money though has come from winning events. Most of it has come from sponsored giants such as AT&T and General Motors. In that same year though, a scandal broke out when it was revealed that Tiger Woods had been cheating on his wife. Now that doesn't look too good for companies that are sponsoring him, so a number of sponsors, including the ones I just mentioned, dropped him entirely. He's still a pretty rich guy though. Next up now, we've got another golfer. Yeah, I know, I'm starting to think that we should all just be golfers. Every single person on the planet, let's all do that. Seems to be where the money's at. At number 8, we have Phil Mickelson with $50.8 million. Now this guy might not be as successful in his career as Tiger Woods or be as famous as him, but he's certainly made a lot of money. He turned pro back in 1992, and in the years since then, he's been building up a steady stream of very lucrative sponsorship deals. He's sponsored by Barclays Bank and by Rolex watches, so I imagine he could just get a new Rolex every single day if he's bored or if he loses one. Now he may be rich, but he's also quite a generous guy. One time he gave a guy in the crowd $200 when he broke his watch with a golf ball. I just hope it wasn't a Rolex, because if so, that was a bit cheap. He also paid for a struggling ex-NFL player's daughter to go to college, and he founded a teacher sponsorship fund with his wife, so he's not just about those sweet free Rolex watches. Right, now we have the second basketball player on our list, and I promise you this isn't just golfers and basketball players. At number 7 is Kevin Durant with $54.2 million. Now Kevin has been a well-known face in the NBA since he turned pro back in 2007. This was the year where he was chosen second overall in the first round of the NBA draft in just his rookie season. Since then, he's become a 3-time NBA All-Star and has had a very successful career with Oklahoma City Thunder. And he's earned a lot from sponsorship deals such as a 10-year one with Nike. But he's also well known for being incredibly kind with his dollar. He pledged $1 million to the American Red Cross, which made his team and Nike match the donation. There's also a really cool clip online of him surprising kids at a school for homeless children with 35 grand. Now the more stories you hear about this guy, the easier it is to see why Foot Locker called him the nicest guy in the NBA. Moving on now guys, guess what? The next person on this list is also a basketball player. I'm so sorry, I have no choice in the order of this list guys, bear with me. At number 6 is LeBron James with $64.8 million. It's not too surprising that arguably the biggest basketball player of modern times has made this list. I could honestly sit here and do a whole video just listing this guy's sporting accomplishments over the years. LeBron was called a future NBA star when he was still in high school, and that was exactly what he went on to become. And if you're one of the best around, money just finds a way into your pocket. He's currently sponsored by McDonald's and Coke, 2 of the biggest companies in the world that use fit people to make other people fat. But LeBron James hasn't just sat back and waited for the money to come to him. He's gone out to get it with his own business ventures. He owns a stake in Liverpool Football Club, he's created his own sports marketing company and released his own line of shoes with Nike. And he's also going to be the star of Space Jam 2. If if that movie is even half as successful as the first one, it's gonna be an absolute cash cow. Alright, moving on now, we've got a personal sporting hero of mine and probably the most famous man to ever come out of Switzerland. At number 5 is Roger Federer with $67 million. Even though it's been almost 4 years since tennis superstar Roger Federer won a tennis major, with some people saying his Grand Slam days are behind him, he's still totally on top when it comes to the big bucks in tennis. From 2005 to 2010, he made 18 out of 19 Grand Slam finals. But even though this level of form might be behind him, he actually earns more now than he did in some of those years back then, mainly from his big sponsorship deals. Although he's backed by big sporting companies like you'd expect, such as Nike and Wilson, Federer has attracted some unlikely but very rich sponsors too. In 2012, he signed a 5-year contract with Moet and Chandon, one of the biggest champagne companies in the world, for an estimated $30 million. Now you know you're rich when you're actually getting paid to drink champagne. Now guys, we're going from potentially the greatest tennis player of all time to arguably the greatest football player of all time. At number 4, we have Lionel Messi with $73.8 million. The Argentinian is the only player to have won the FIFA World Player of the Year on 5 separate occasions. He may not be as glamorous as the likes of David Beckham, but Messi has racked up a fortune pretty much entirely off just how insanely good he is at this sport. When he first began to make a bit of a name for himself, he attracted the attention of sports fans, and so naturally his sponsorship deals were mainly sports based, such as big deals with Adidas. But as time went on and his career at Barcelona blossomed, Messi became a worldwide phenomenon, to the point where many people who don't even watch football know his name and recognize his face. Because of this global spotlight on him, he now has deals with everyone, from Samsung to Gillette and even Turkish Airlines. Yeah, Turkish Airlines. Here he is in that commercial back in 2012 that also featured Kobe Bryant. I'm gonna go ahead and say that was one expensive commercial to make. But Messi has always been compared to another football player throughout his whole career, and they've actually managed to squeeze one place ahead of him on this list. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. At number 3 is Cristiano Ronaldo with $79.6 million. Now if there's one person that has made Messi share the throne of football in recent years, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. His career has been absolutely packed with trophies from both his time at Manchester United and Real Madrid, but his many awards and victories are just part of his story. For many people, Ronaldo is one of the most marketable athletes in the world. He's become almost as much of a celebrity as he is an athlete. With 56.3 million followers on Instagram, 42 million on Twitter and 111 million on Facebook, Ronaldo has the ability to reach people in ways that most companies can only dream of. He's attracted sponsors such as Nike, which makes sense, Armani, presumably because of pictures like this one, and KFC, because fried chicken, because why not? Alright, now guys, we've got one half of the biggest sporting event of the past year. Before a certain boxing match, many people around the world didn't know who this athlete was. Well, they certainly do now. At number 2 is Manny Pacquiao with $160 million. Hailing from the Philippines, many avid boxing fans will have followed this Filipino boxer's career since he turned pro back in 1995, but for most of the world, he's known for the reason that he is so high on this list: his 2015 fight with Floyd Mayweather. It took years of negotiating to get these two athletes into the boxing ring together, but finally a match date was set for May 2nd, 2015. The hype for this game was unbelievable, with many people calling it the fight of the century. This resulted in one of the biggest pay-per-view productions of all time, with 4.4 million purchases. When the big day finally came, the fight went the distance and the judges awarded it to Mayweather, but if we're talking money here, it really wasn't any losers at all. They fought for 36 minutes but generated $600 million. What? However, one of the agreed deals before the fight went down was that the revenue would be a 60-40 split, with Manny receiving the smaller share of that. Once you know this, it's no surprise really that our number 1 spot goes to Floyd Mayweather. He got the biggest share, and last year he earned $300 million. Okay guys, so we've already talked about the fight, so let's just try and wrap our heads around how much money money Floyd Mayweather got from this fight. It's been worked out that over the course of those 12 rounds, he was earning almost $5 million a minute. A minute! After 10 minutes of that fight, he had already earned more than Kobe Bryant earned in the whole of 2015. Basketball legend Michael Jordan was paid roughly $125 million throughout his whole career by today's standards. Mayweather made almost $100 million more than that in just 36 minutes. Absolutely crazy stuff, but was it worth it? Well, many boxing fans say that it didn't really live up to expectations. Now, I personally don't know much about boxing, but I did stay up late to watch this match, and it really was just 36 minutes of Floyd Mayweather dodging punches until Manny got tired. Now, some say it was a boring match to watch, while others say that Floyd deserved it for a very defensive, calculated game, but I'm sure that both of them don't really care what anyone says at the end of the day, because they ended 2015 as the two best paid athletes on the planet by a mile. And of course, the best bit is they didn't even have to pay to watch the fight. That's probably the best bit for them, I imagine. They got to be there for free. Alright guys, well that's all I've got for you in this video, as the nature of the top 10 list has run its course. Do you guys love sport? Do you want to be as rich as these athletes? Do you think that athletes do or don't deserve this much money for what they do? Whatever your thoughts are, leave them down below along with suggestions for future videos you want to see here on Most Amazing Top 10. My name's Danny Berg, and you can find me on Instagram somewhere down there, and I'll catch you guys soon.